Uh,
All right, perfect. So now it'll be recorded on your computer. All right, so go ahead. So you had a few strategy sessions. And so what happened in those strategy sessions?
Um, no sales were made. They went pretty good as to it was smooth. It was got a lot of information. Two out of the four are I'm pretty damn sure that they're going to be ones that are going to be using me in the future. Uh, one of which, just plain and simple, she said no after she had a couple other competitive estimates. She got back to me later on that week for our arrangement. And one just plain and simple ghosted me afterwards. I haven't heard anything about it. Now I have another one set up for Tuesday. So I'm getting some smart connects, getting some meetings set out of the smart connects. I'm not I'm not being able to do my ABCs on 7 out of 7. It's just not happening. Uh, but I would venture to say I've been logging them down. I'm at about 80 to 90% rate, to where, meaning that for each person that I get together with on each Smart Connect, about 80 to 90% of the time, I'm able to go ahead and do my ABCs. Now, am I able to connect up with them and set up a strategy session? No, not every time. And that's part of that, like I said, is just stuff that I've got to take and work through, which is going to be uh, hitting my timing a little bit more, confidence level up a little bit more energy. I got to tell myself and psych myself up every single time I do one of these. Uh, I
Well,
was on there with you.
let me say another thing that it is
Yeah.
your expectations are off. Let me explain why I
Okay.
say that. I don't do 100% of my strategy session, my audio business card with every 7 out of 7. And I don't connect and make appointments with everyone and set up strategy sessions with everyone.
Right.
And I've been
Right.
doing this for 24 years.
Okay.
So if you're expecting to do it with every single person every time, then your expectations are off.
Well, I'm expecting to try my best every single
Yes,
time,
you are.
and
And if
some.
you're doing 80 to 90%, that's
Yeah.
very,
Well,
very good.
I feel as though I can do better as far as being a little bit more comfortable and being able to interject myself. I understand what you're saying completely, and I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm just saying for myself, what I have noticed are some shortcomings that I'm fully aware of that I need to take and address. So that's going to take and come in time, and hopefully not too much more time. I'd like to be a lot more comfortable with it in the next few weeks, because I was on there in one of those Smart Connects with you earlier this week. I saw you in there,
Yeah,
and
I saw
that's
you as well. Hmm.
yeah. I bailed after two because I just started feeling sick, and last week I did not put in 100% effort, because I would just down and out for most of the week. I think I did 4 Smart Connects last week, and I think I got in front of a total, if I remember correctly, a total of about 12 people. Yeah,
That's great. Those are
ran
good
about
numbers.
12, ran about 12 people, and was able to book one strategy session. And a couple of them, and I know you get this too. A couple of them said, "Oh yeah, this sounds fantastic. This is great." And then when you go to reach out afterwards, it's just like freaking crickets. They've never even heard of you before. It's, "Oh, hey, thanks. Yeah, it was great talking to you too." And then it's like that's where I'm
Okay,
saying
something's weird. Why are you reaching out afterwards?
that's why I just got to understand there's things I got to take and work on. I'm not able to take and sign them. I don't have that part down. That part just feels so awkward. I fumble with it as to getting them booked while I'm in the session. I'm hitting them up too late. I'm doing my ABCs 80 to 90% of the time, but I'm getting on it too late. And the ones that I'm getting on early just seems like I'm falling flat with them. So yeah, I've got some work to
Well,
do. It's my timing, I've got to figure out how the hell to
well, let me
uh
do this. Let me give you the entire audio business card system so you can know the entire process though that needs to happen. Because I gave you the audio business card formula, but now let me give you the whole system in totality so you can see it, so you can know exactly what needs to happen.
okay.
Okay. Here's how it flows. Now that I gave you the pieces of it, it goes the audio business card, ABC, plus the transition phrase, plus
Okay.
the openers, plus the invitation script. Okay, then you book a date in the calendar ASAP, as soon as possible. Plus, get their email and phone number. Plus, send them a Zoom link and confirm they received it.
Yeah, we've already
And
gone over
then
this.
reiterate the benefits. They will receive when they show up. Part 1, 2, and 3. That's the system. That's what you have to get down. If you're not doing that system, there's no reason not to do it once you've learned the system. So let me give you an example. If I was in your business and I came on there, tell me one of the occupations of the people that you spoke to.
Uh Health and wellness.
Are they in network marketing? Are they a coach, or what are they?
Uh Most of the time they're selling a product that is a consumable.
Like in network marketing, like a Mahaluka or something like that?
No, 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 no. It's supplements and stuff like that, not Melaleuca.
Mahaluka is
I've only
with
actually
supplements.
come across one network marketer,
You have not come across a network marketer?
just one.
So then what kind of product are they selling if they're health and wellness? What does that mean?
Well, holistic stuff. Basically, it's bullshit. Natural supplements
Like
to take
what?
and
Like,
make the body healthier and better, and
you mean like
it's
ASEA? ASEA?
yeah, something like that.
That's network marketing.
It's none of them said they were in network marketing.
They're not going to. That's not the way you present network marketing.
Oh,
If
well,
they're saying they're health and wellness and they're selling a product or they're selling a product, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be in a network marketing business.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. 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 They're not going to say they're in a health and wellness business selling a product, but not in an MLM.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just say that's the case. Let's say you're in health and wellness and your company is ASEA, Mamaluca. It doesn't matter what the company is. Okay. So what do you do?
I'm in health and wellness.
Really, health and wellness. Tell me about that. That's so needed right now. So many people are hurting with their health, especially after that jab that people got the other day, a couple years ago. So many people need health and wellness products. So tell me about that. What kind of products are they?
No, it's usually just take a pill and feel better, and make the body good.
No, I need you to role play here with me, my man. If I'm gonna show you, if I'm gonna
It's
teach you.
I don't
Make,
believe in the products, so it's kind of difficult to take and do that. So,
just
um,
make it up. Be excited about it. Just make it up. We're role playing.
well, most of the products that we take and put out there are definitely going to take the edge off of joint pain. We've had lots of customers have said
Okay,
that
stop. Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. I want to help you with something. I want to help you with something really quick. This probably will help you with those types of people. Why don't you believe in the product?
because it's the same old,
What does
and
that what does that mean? Same old, same old.
I think you know exactly what it means, Stephen. Um,
What I'm trying to understand is what your thoughts are so I can help you get through it to help you be more effective with these people. Are you thinking that health and wellness network marketing products don't work?
yeah, for the most part, they don't. For the most
Okay,
part, they
you're
for the
assuming
general public, they don't work. The human body doesn't need all of these various different supplements. There's every now and then comes along a holistic medicine that is very, very beneficial to the body and does quite a few things. But most of these people out there are nothing but hucksters.
do
And
you know that for a fact or you just believe that?
there'd be no way to know it for a fact unless I investigated most of these people.
I agree. So then you're just assuming that, correct? Based on a biased opinion.
I'm assuming that based on the majority of the products out there have been proven to do nothing, if very, very little with most of the people,
I
going
know, but
off of
think about
empirical
what you're
data that's
saying.
out.
Think about what you're saying. You're saying that most of the products, you haven't tested most of the products, but you're assuming that they don't work. You're assuming that. And the reason why I'm
Okay,
sharing
where
this,
is this going?
I'm going to show you. I'm trying to help you so you can change your mind, help you with your mindset about this. First of all, that would be equivalent to them saying most of these people that do social media marketing, online marketing don't work. Most of these guys, they don't work. It doesn't work. Social media marketing doesn't work. Lead generation online doesn't work. If someone came and said that, is that actually true?
In some cases, yes,
In
and I
some
get
cases,
that.
yes, but in most cases, it isn't. No, it's not that it doesn't work, is that the particular person doesn't necessarily work. Or the person who's doing it maybe is not skilled or they're not trained on how to do it correctly. It's not that social media marketing doesn't work because people are making millions of dollars using social media marketing. I know for a fact, I run a whole ministry of social media marketing. I got hundreds of millions of people looking at my materials in social media marketing right now as we speak. So if somebody tells me social media marketing doesn't work, they're nuts. They don't know what they're talking about.
Okay.
So the reason why I share that is with this. Network marketing, I've been in network marketing 36 years. That's been the number one industry I've been in. I've been through multiple companies, and I can tell you right now, network marketing has by far the best products and services in the industry of nutrition. Because here's why, so you can understand. When you go to a store, like a grocery store, most of those products have fillers and garbage in them. That's why they sell them on stores so cheaply. In network marketing, the actual owners really do care about people. They really do research. They really go to other countries and get the best ingredients and they put them in the product. And they really do have scientists. They really do have the efficacy to really find good products because it's very difficult to network market a bad product. So in most cases, now I'm not saying all, there are some companies out there that are scamsters, no doubt about it. Just like in every industry, there's scamsters. But for the whole, as an industry as a whole, by far, network marketing has by far the best products in the industry of nutrition, by far. And I know for a fact I've been taking them 36 years.
Okay.
I have a
How is this helping me?
well, I'm trying to help you with your mindset. Hopefully, you'll decide to have more of a neutral belief about this so that you can help these people because network marketing will buy your services,
Mm.
but you don't believe in their products, so they're not going to buy you. And that's where the problem's coming. You're the problem. So that's where the
Okay.
problem is. So let me explain. Let me explain why I say this. I have
Hmm.
coaches all the time. This is what a coach will tell me. When I start training a coach and they say, well, I meet all these network marketers and they never have a money. And I'm like, wow, it's interesting. They pay me $3,000 all the time. You know
For
why?
something different, for
No, they
something
pay me.
totally different, dude.
I know, but listen to what I'm saying. Just listen to the concept, what I'm saying here. Listen to what I'm saying. What people believe that network marketers don't have money. That's what they believe. But what they don't realize is network marketers, most of them have a full-time job, or they have another business, or they're successful somewhere else and they're starting another part-time business. But they're in their mindset, they think network marketers don't have money. So because of that, coaches don't even try to sell them their services because they believe they don't have money. Same exact thing here with you. You believe their product isn't good. So because of that, it comes out when you're talking to them. That's why they won't do business with you. But what I'm letting you know, I'm letting you know as your coach, as a person that's in the industry, this is all I've done. I've devoted my entire life to direct sales. I can tell you right now, most network marketing companies have the best products. I have an entire cabinet full of them. My blood pressure right now is the healthiest it can be. I've gotten some of the worst diseases in my body gone. My Achilles heel right now. There's a product that I take right now. It's a water type product. I haven't been able to run for 20 years. Literally haven't been able to run because I have Achilles heel problem. I messed up my Achilles heel about 15 years ago. I have not literally been able to run. I've been taking this product now for 3 months. I can now go run because my body healed itself from within. And this one product, and I know for a fact, the only thing I did differently was start taking this product that I take right now. I'm in by far the best health and nutrition shape internally. My blood pressure is perfect. My cholesterol, everything inside, and I do nothing but nutrition from network marketing companies. So the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because I'm hopefully changing your base by way of your disbelief, not to get you to believe it so you go buy them. That's not the intent. But for you to have more of a neutral and open mind and not a critical mind against the people that you're trying to serve. Because you don't have to take the products ever. You don't ever have to take it. But I can tell you right now, if you trust me as a person, you know me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pull no punches. I'm not gonna make stuff up either. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if network marketing wouldn't work, I'd be telling you right now. The industry of network marketing is one of the best and fastest growing industries in the world. It's made more millionaires than any other industry in the world, and it actually helps people. Now, a lot of people fail, but it's not because of the industry. It's because they don't do anything. It's one of those industries where you have a lot of people that have no experience jump into an industry with no training and then fail. You know what I'm saying? But that would be anything. That would be any kind of industry. That would be that way. Unfortunately, there's just more people coming into that space. But the products itself, most companies in that industry have the best products of their type in that industry versus any store. I don't ever buy vitamins or minerals or nutrients from a store, ever, because they're garbage. Network marketing is where I go to buy my products, nutrition products. But I just want to
Okay.
let you know that. Yeah, I just want to let you know that. So hopefully your belief will be more neutral. So now when you're talking to these people, you'll listen with an open mind. Let them say what they
Dude,
say.
I listen with an open mind and I try and attack everybody with as much zeal and zest as I possibly can because I'm listening to them as an individual. I don't give a shit what they're selling. My goal is to take and have the conversation with them, try and get my ABCs out there and try and book a strategy session. So I'm not coming across negative for any one particular thing. I'm just simply saying my observation most of the time with these holistic folks, what their attitude and everything else when I'm coming across them, and we don't even need to be talking about this, but their attitude when I'm hooking each one of them is, or trying to talk to them, is they're just kind of really, really kind of laid back and everything else. And, I ask them about this. Oh, well, yeah, we already have this set up. We already have that set up. So
Yeah.
most of the time when I'm talking to these folks, it's nothing ever really comes of it.
Okay. Okay. Well, holistic, that sounds more of like a holistic coach because there's a lot of holistic coaches out there that do like mindset coaches that do this spiritual
I've
woo
I've had
stuff.
I've had some that do the whole Reiki thing and
Yeah. That type of
all
stuff.
this other kind of stuff. And I have
Yeah.
some that are taking and selling. supplements. I have some that are selling injectables that are uh, stem
Injectables?
cell, and then I have some that are one lady that I got on with the other night, and I really had to force myself not to roll my eyes. She's selling a patch that she was wearing prominently on her neck that
Yeah,
is a crystal, and the crystal turns on her stem cells in her body, and it activates every, now when you listen to the explanation and everything, it's you're kind of going, okay, but your mind is kind of playing back all of the nonsense that you've heard over the years of these fake products and fake organizations, that the healing of the crystals and magnets do all of this and all of this other kind of stuff. And it's just kind of like, wow. But I took her at her word and told her I thought that was fantastic, and asked her a little bit more information, then kind of went into what I was doing and everything else, and it just ended up running out of time because I let
yeah,
her.
yeah. I got you. And so, a couple of things. One of the things I can say right now that will be beneficial. Now, you don't have to do it. I'm just trying to give you some insight. Fortunately, I have a lot of experience in a lot of industries because I've been doing this for a long time, so I have a lot of experience. And right now, you don't, especially in that type of industry. Now, the Reiki, I don't know what the heck Reiki is. I know it's some woo-woo stuff, whatever that is. I don't I,
It's
all that
placing the hands over the body and not actually touching them, and
right.
supposedly that heals you.
I got it. It's like, yeah, so that energy healing and all that type of stuff. Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say it doesn't work because I don't know. So I'd rather not say, oh, that doesn't work. I'm not gonna do the same thing you just did. But what I will say is I don't know because I don't know anything about that. I hear what they're saying. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. That's all I can
Work.
do.
It absolutely works if you believe it works. It's
I,
a mindset for
That's
the
my point. That's my point. So,
for the
so
receiver.
with that said, when I meet with these people and I talk to them, I give them the benefit of the doubt, and I say, "Wow, that's awesome!" They're saying that it does this and it's helping these people. Great, fantastic. Then I just praise them for what they're doing, without bias. Now, with network marketing, here's a suggestion. This will be a business suggestion. There's a few network marketing companies out there that do the patches. Like there's a few these patches that are. I know the owner of the company of the patch company. They're in San Diego. I met with the owner personally. I know them personally. I have friends that go there. They have another one called ASEA. It's a drink. It's a water product. Legal Shield. There's a lot of good products out there that are good. I would recommend, for your sake, because you're trying to sell a person in an industry that you don't know the industry. And if you're trying to really sell them, what I would recommend you to do is the next time ASEA has a presentation, ask to go. Not with the intent to buy, just ask to go so you can learn your demographic. Or if
Right.
they have one with the lady with the patches, ask to go to the presentation so you can see the presentation. Ask to go to the Legal Shield presentation. Go to these people because when you go there, and then your belief is going to increase on the product. I can guarantee you that when you see it from a professional speaking about it, and you really understand the need and why this product is so prevalent and why this company's at a $500 million a year company, you'll understand why. Then what will happen is your belief will go up, your market will widen exponentially. And now when you're talking to these people, they'll know that you respect what they do. They'll know it because they'll feel it. Energy is felt. You respected me because you can feel the energy coming from me. I respect you because I know what you do and I respect what you do. And it's a mutual respect. When that mutual respect's not there, that's communicated even nonverbal. You understand? So you may
Mhm.
be giving off a lot of that you don't realize you're giving off. Especially when you
Quite
say it like,
possible.
I did everything I could not to roll my eyes. Saying that, trust me, that is felt. You understand? And I'm now this is so based on, I'm just telling you, based on what I'm telling you right now, that would be a good recommendation for you because the whole point of what we're doing is, remember I said you're in two businesses. You're in the word business. you have to be able to communicate your words to attract your people, right?
Right.
I also said you're in the belief business. You're in the belief business. You have to be able to convey your belief that you can solve their problem. And that's based on your words. If you don't believe, then guess what? They're not going to believe in you. And that's what I
Yeah.
think that's a big problem that's probably happening in your communication, in your nonverbal communication. So
Okay.
that would be a recommendation that could help you with your belief and your confidence level when you're talking to these people. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you have a great product, and these people need you. They need your services.
Yeah. 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 Well, my problem is at this particular point is figuring out how to take in uh, get all this stuff down to where I can actually talk well with them. But that's going to take and coming in time.
Well, you have the order right here. You have
Yeah,
the
yeah,
order.
yeah, yeah. It's and we've gone over all of this before. It's and I know this is exactly how it's supposed to go. It's actually being able to, for me, to implement it. And that's the problem that I'm having is I'm starting too late, or I'm not being aggressive enough, or it just simply it's not flowing right. And the only way that that's going to be fixed is by me continuing to do it. And the
Yes.
more that I do it, the better off it'll get. You know, once I'm able to run through all of it and get to the point where I'm booking it. And I've had that happen a couple of times, but I couldn't figure out how the hell am I supposed to actually book the damn Zoom meeting. Going, I got it. Then I got to open up this, and then the clock's ticking, and I'm running out of time and everything else. So I'll get it down. I'll get it down. We just need to go over with the remaining time that we've got. Go over what the next part of the lessons, which I believe you had said we're going to start on the strategy sessions.
Sure. We can go over the outline of the strategy session.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's
Okay.
do that.
Let's do it. No problem. Okay. So with the strategy session, the goal of the strategy session, of course, is to sign the person up. That's the goal to give them a presentation. A
Right,
strategy
right,
session and presentation mean the same thing. Okay.
right.
So when you first start off, one of the first things you do, of course, you do a little bit of a warm up with them, find out a little bit about them. Then the first question you want to ask is, what is your 12-month income goal?
Okay.
Find out what their 12-month income goal is. And then once they tell you, well, I want to make an extra $100,000 this year, you can ask some why questions. You know, why is that important to you? You know, that's a good opener question that get them talking. You want them talking about why they want to do that. So, you know, why is
That
that important to you? Yep.
gets to the whys.
Yep. Yep. And then another big question you could ask is, how on target are you for that goal? 10%, 20%, 30%, 50%, 80%. Throw out some percentages. And I would throw out multiple percentages, 10%, 20%, 50%, 80%. You know, you want to assume they're doing well. They're going to tell you they're not, but you know, you want to assume that they're doing well. You
Okay.
know, so what percentage are you on track for that? 10%, 20%, 50%, 80%? They'll say, oh, maybe 5%. Okay. And then you can throw out a dollar amount. So if you know they're at $100,000, that's their goal, and they're at 5%, that means they made $5,000 this year. I throw that out there, not to stick them, but to stick them. So like, wow, so you made about $5,000 this year. Okay, good. So we got a lot of work to do. It's giving them the reality of what the real issue is.
Okay. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Next question. So the next thing is, what are the three biggest challenges you're having in your business of why you're not hitting your 100,000 a year right now? What are the three biggest challenges? And you let them tell you. Now, you know what their biggest challenges are. What are their three biggest challenges?
In most cases, it's going to be lack of visibility. They're not showing
Wait,
up on search
wait, stop
engine.
right there. Visibility. Why do they need to be visible?
Same reason why everyone needs to be visible.
I'm not visible anywhere.
Yeah,
So that's
you
not
are.
true. No, I'm not.
I can
I'm not
look you up
visible.
on Google, and your site shows up.
I know, but I never ever get a lead from Google. Ever. So
But
being visible is not what's important.
well, to a lot of businesses, their mindset is they're not visible. They can't be found. Nobody's coming to the website. Nobody's coming to the website. That means they can't be found. They can't be found. It means they're not visible. Henceforth, that's why I say visible when I'm speaking to prospects. This comes up a lot. So,
I understand. I
in
understand.
answer
So
to your question, the top three are going to be they don't show up in search results, they don't get visitors, and they're not converting the visitors into paying customers.
okay, and those are right, but let me give you the answers that can lead you to a sale. What are the 7 money-making activities? They need to generate leads. They need to convert leads into prospects, and they need to make effective presentations to those prospects, right?
Right.
It's the same thing for them. I don't need to be visible. You know what I need? I need leads that convert into prospects, and I need to make presentations. I need to invite them to see what I do and make presentations. This is the same thing with these business owners, the same exact thing. I would use those words because visibility does not equal sales. And and just so you know, visibility equals traffic, but what do they really want? Do they really want visibility or do they want leads? Which do
And
they want?
we're playing semantics here.
Well, you think it's semantics, but remember, you're in the business of words. I'm giving you, remember I told you at the very beginning, I'm gonna give you the words that work. I'm in your business. I own a marketing company. They do the same exact thing you do. So just so you understand, I'm giving you the words that work. If you say visibility means something dramatically different than leads and conversion and sales. That evokes in a different emotional response than visibility and traffic.
Yeah.
It's a different meaning. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm giving you the words that will get more people to say, wow, yes, I do want that. Yes, I do want to find out more about that. That's what you're having a dilemma with.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So what I would do is I would adjust those words and say, what are the 3 biggest challenges you're having? And they're going to say whatever they say. And then I would roll into something like, well, are you getting enough leads? Are you getting enough inbound calls, inbound leads? Oh, well, no, I'm not getting as many inbound leads as I want. Okay, so that's one challenge that you're having. Yeah, I'm not getting it. They can call it traffic, whatever they want. But bottom line is they want more leads. That's what they want. Remember Cindy I said at the very beginning, people don't care what you want to say. People care what they want to hear. See, as a marketer, we want to use marketing terms. As a customer or consumer, they want to hear the terms that make sense to them. What makes sense to them is they want more leads. Guess what they really want? Do they really want leads? No, they want prospects. But they don't even know what the heck a prospect is. I taught you what the difference between a name and a prospect. So, and you can even use that same thing I do with them. Do you know the difference between a lead and a prospect? Well, a lead is just like an inbound person calling you, but a prospect is someone that's really open to learning more about what you do. You really want prospects. So how's your conversion? How good are you at converting those inbound calls into actual people that want to know more about your services? Well, that's where my problem is. A lot of people come, they just look at you, okay, so you're not really good at conversion.
Right.
Right. And as far as sales is concerned, how many sales are you making? Yeah, so that's your problem. Those are 3 problems you can solve, right?
Right.
So you see how I led them from just having a generic answer, because most people don't know the answer. I led them to the answers that I know I can solve.
Okay.
That's exactly the same thing I do.
All right.
So that's why I would convert those words from whatever they say to leads, conversions, and appointment. Either, sometimes they may want appointments in their calendar, or they may want to be able to make more presentations. Because that's when they're going to make money, right?
All right.
When they get either more appointments in their calendar, more foot traffic in the door, depending on the type of business you're in.
Mhm.
When they make appointments, they make presentations, or they get foot traffic in the door. That's when they have the ability to make money.
Oh, okay.
Or
Okay.
or if they have an online website, they get people to buy. They get buyers, people that buy from the website.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So those four words, along with conversion and leads, is where you want to lead them to when you ask them to those three problems.
Okay.
Yeah, because usually they're going to probably come up with something different.
Now, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
What's your thoughts about what I just shared?
Well, sounds like I got a lot of notes to take to
Well, yeah,
write most
okay.
of this stuff down. Um, yeah, I mean it's a little bit different than how I've been approaching it so far. Um, One thing that kept coming to mind is I'm sitting there thinking is when the strategy sessions that I've booked, I've been able to book them because they think they're going to get tips and tricks
You
on
are.
things that
We
they
haven't
can
got
on
there yet.
things that they can take and do, but I'm hitting them with um, business questions and sales questions right off the bat instead of like I said, it's a little bit different than how I've done it so far. So just kind of processing that because that's all if it's different, it's all new. So
Yeah,
um,
well, we haven't got to the tips yet. That's the next step. So I'm giving you the steps right now. So the step one is you want to ask them what their income goal. Step one, what is their income goal? Step two, three problems. Three problems. So you want to let them talk. So they start telling you what their challenge is, and then you're going to lead them to these three problems. Step three, you're going to tell your story. You want to tell your story. So let me kind of give you my story. I'll tell you my story, and then I'll show you how to formulate your story. The reason for your story is so that you can relate to them and they can relate to you. Because we always talk about people buy from who they like, know, and trust, right? We always talk about that. So
oh
the
yeah,
story,
stories are very, very, very good. Yeah, full agreement.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said stories are very, very good. They
Yes.
work.
Yeah, so let me kind of give you my story. I'll give you an example. I'm gonna give you the outline of my story, and then you'll be able to craft your story from the outline that I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So let me tell you a little bit about me. I've been in direct sales 36 years. That's all I've ever done. Never had a job, never had a salary. But my first 12 years, I failed in the business. Had no clue what the heck I was doing. I ended up being about $70,000 in debt by the time I met my mentor. And this guy I met, his name was Kevin. He did $5 billion in business and TV infomercials, and he was the best guy in the business. And so I learned from him for 3 years. But after I learned from him, I went to a company called Aflac. You know the company on TV with the duck?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Aflac and I worked with them. And I went from zero to over $100,000 my first year after learning the skills of what to do. And I had so many people coming to me like, Stephen, how the heck you doing that? How are you going from zero to $100,000 in 1 year? I said, I'll teach you. So I started training people how to do it. I did that for 4 years, and then I went to another company called Nouveau Riche. It was a real estate investment school. It cost $20,000 to join. So I went there, and I would go out to meet cold people in the networking space. I meet cold people, invite them to a presentation. The next day, they would cut me a check for $20,000. I had the fastest growing organization in the entire country. I put $1.4 million in my bank account in 14 months. So again, people were coming to me like, Stephen, how the heck are you doing this? And I said, well, I'll train you. I'll teach you. So I started teaching them. But then in 2009, you know what happened? The real estate market crashed. So when that market crashed, I kind of went out on my own because I had all these people coming to me asking me to help them. So I did. So I started training people, and I said, they were like, can you teach me how to do it? I said, sure, I'll teach you for 10,000 bucks. So that's what I did. I would train them for $10,000 all the way up until 2019. But then by time 2019 came, I was kind of focused on my dream. Did I tell you I run an online ministry? I teach the Bible to pastors all over the world. I did. Yeah, why I do that's my why. I've been focusing on that. But then when 2018 came, I started noticing all these people were flooding to online networking because everybody was working from home. So you had all these new coaches came out and these new marketing companies, new people were coming out from the everywhere. But the problem is they were building a lot of relationships. They were making a lot of friends. They were doing a lot of one-on-one meetings, but they weren't converting a lot of people into new sales and new business. And a lot of people were frustrated. So I said, I'm going to put together a program specifically for those people, but there's 3 criteria I'm going to look for. Number 1, they have to have a product or service that I believe in. If I don't believe in their product or services, I'm not going to help them. Number 2, they have to be urgent. I meet a lot of people that are complacent. They're not really urgent for their business to be successful. They would like to be successful. They're not hungry. They're not urgent. They're not urgent for their business. I can't be more urgent for them. And number 3, they have to have a product or service that serves people, that really cares more about people. I said, for those people, what I'm going to do, instead of charging them $10,000 like I was doing, I'm going to do it for $3,000, and so that anybody can afford to do it. And then from there, I'll train them how to do it. Instead of take them 3 to 4 months, I'm going to teach them in 3 to 4 weeks, depending, everybody's different, but that's usually about the time frame. That's kind of how it works, but we can talk about money a little bit later. I want to give you some free tips, okay? All right.
Not bad.
Let me break down what I just did.
Bless
What
you.
did you know? What did you hear me do just now?
Well, with your story and everything, it was kind of a buildup. It wasn't there wasn't too much horn blowing, a little bit, but it was a buildup into relatable content for what you'd be talking about for the particular subject matter, especially since you're, pitching them on coaching services and everything else. So you pretty much established credibility and the note of mastery of the subject. And yeah.
Okay, let me break down what I did, and then you'll see how to be able to implement it. Because in your case, you may need to implement some of these pieces a little differently. So at the beginning, the first step I did is I talked about where I started and how I failed.
Right. You made yourself relatable.
Right.
Human.
So I made myself relatable because everyone fails at the beginning. I
Mhm.
talked about how much that failure cost me, $70,000. Now, in your case, if you haven't had that experience, maybe you could talk about experience in life. Maybe you went to college and you spent $80,000 on college, or $100,000 on school, or education, or whatever. You just got to talk about a dollar amount, a high dollar amount. You'll see why in a little bit. So education is not free, and my education was the School of Hard Knocks. It cost me $70,000 to go to school. You may have paid for college. It cost you $100,000 to school, whatever. School is not free. And then I finally met a mentor. The next step is I met a mentor, and he taught me how to do it the right way. And that equated, once I learned and I was humble, turned into 100 grand in my pocket. I went from 70,000 in debt to 100 grand in 1 year once I learned how to do it right. I made a transition. I showed how I failed at first without the knowledge. I got the knowledge and I succeeded. And I'm showing that distinct difference. Why? Because I'm setting myself up that if you want to learn how to do it right, you hire someone to teach you. And that's the same thing you're going to be doing.
Yeah, it's as I was sitting there listening to your story and everything, I was kind of going, okay, yeah, this is cool.
Let me break it down for you. Let me stay focused and break this down for you, each piece. So then after that, I talked about how I got experience. I started talking about how I trained people, because people were asking me, how do you do this? So I started talking about I trained them for free. And I did, because I started training. Now, in your case, you may not be able to say that. You could say you wanted to learn marketing because you know that a business needs to be successful. To be successful, you need to know marketing. So you wanted to learn marketing. So you started doing some research on marketing so you can get training, right? You can talk about that if you need to. Then step number 5, the next step. Step number, this 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm numbering them so I can keep myself in order here. Okay, so after I talked about training, then I said I went to another company, which was Nouveau Riche. And it cost $20,000 to join. And then I demonstrated my process. I went out cold networking, met cold people, invited them to a presentation. The next day, they cut me a check for $20,000, which is 100% true. It's exactly what I did. And then I said 20 grand equaled $1.4 million in my bank account. In other words, you invest 20,000, you make money. You understand? I'm just equating the two. In your case, we'd have to figure out how to make that type of scenario work because it's not necessarily the same scenario. But I'm just and just every piece of this doesn't have to be there. I'm just giving you my outline.
Right, right.
Number 6, the sixth thing I talked about was how that market crashed. The real estate market crashed, and it did. And when it did, I went on my own. That's what got me to start in my own business.
I'll be right back, but please keep explaining.
Oh, I will.
I've got food on the stove I forgot about.
Okay, got it. So what I did is I went and the industry failed. The industry failed. So that's when I went and started to do it on my own. And people were asking me to teach them. And so I reduced the price from $20,000 down to $10,000. And I would train them in 3 to 4 months. I talked about a time frame. 3 to 4 months, $10,000. And then after that, I talked about how long I did that, the length of time. And I went from 2010 to 2019. So that's 9 years of experience I talked about. Okay. Of doing that. And then what I did is, so if you notice, I went from 70,000 to 20,000 to $10,000. What that's called is called price conditioning. So I did what's called price conditioning. So when I say 3,000, that's nothing. I just talked about 70,000, 20,000, 10,000. I talked about these big numbers. So by the time I get to my number, it's no big deal. It's cheap. You understand?
No,
So
I've heard that. I've heard that particular technique before.
Yeah, so it's called price conditioning. So what I did was I talked about for 10 years. So now I've talked about all these big numbers. Now I changed my base. I kind of make myself human again. I say, and I mentioned the ministry because in my case, that's what I do. I run a ministry. And I mentioned, did I tell you I mentioned ministry? Yeah. And I talk about what I do for God and all that stuff. Not to talk about God, but really just to talk about that, to bring me back human again. So
right.
I just kind of scared them with these big numbers. So in your case, you can just talk about, I started doing this because did I tell you I have 3 kids? I have 3 kids. Yeah, they're in college. But you can make yourself back human again somehow. Okay, so I talked about the ministry. Okay, and then I go back to, why I put this together. Remember in the audio business card, you talk about the 3 problems that people have that you solve. So now I go through the 3 problems. So what I did is I came back and I started networking. I started noticing people were, meeting a lot of friends. They're building a lot of relationships, doing a lot of one-on-one meetings, but they're not getting the success they want. They're not making sales. So I said, I want to solve that problem. So I talked about the 3 problems. In your case, you can say, what I noticed is I started noticing, I started coming on these networking groups and people weren't getting traffic to their website. They weren't getting sales. They weren't getting enough leads. And a lot of people are frustrated and they want to know how. So I said, I'm going to solve that problem. I'm going to put together something specifically for those people to really help people that really want the help. Because there's a lot of people out there that not doing online marketing the right way. And I said, I'm going to be the solution for that. Okay. The next step. And then you talk about your package, what you do, your package. So what I did was instead of charging $10,000 like I used to do, I said, and now before I can talk about my package, I talk about who I look for. I target my audience. 1, they have to have a product or service that I believe in. If I don't believe in their product or service, I'm not doing business with them. That's the reason I recommend you to go understand that industry, because it'll open your marketplace because you're shutting your own market down. Very hard to sell a product or service to someone if you don't believe in their product or service. Very difficult. Yeah. That's why I'm recommending you to go broaden your mindset and trust your mentor. Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, when I see a scam, when I know a fake product, I let people know. You know me, right? You know me. I don't play any punches. I ain't afraid of nobody. If your product is garbage, I'm gonna let you know. And I'm gonna tell you right now, trust me, network marketing has the best products as a whole in the industry. I'm just letting you know that from 100% my lifelong experience.
That's that's funny, Stephen, because when I lived in California, I had exposure to network marketing, 3 different ones, and all 3 of them were complete bullshit ripoff scams.
Yeah. And there
you
are
know?
some, I have been too. How do you think I was 70,000 in debt when I first started?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you
And
think
so
that happened?
I've had my own personal experience to where I've been kind of tainted. And I would imagine, being as though it has stood the test of time, that reasonably speaking, that all of them can't be absolute
All of
garbage.
them
So
can't be. All of
yeah.
them can't. That's the thing. Just so you know, why do you think I was 70,000 in debt when I first started? Because I jumped into network marketing after network marketing company. Not only would the company fail, I'd buy their garbage products and it didn't work. But that was in the 80s, in the 90s. It's
Yeah.
2024 right now. It is different. You know what I'm
Yeah. My
saying?
wife got involved in Malaluka, and as soon as she got involved in that, I got a hold of her and I said, no, we are not doing this. Is
Yeah,
it if you want to use the product, fine, but you are not a saleswoman. You
yeah,
aren't. You don't
yeah,
have the drive or ambition for it. So no, we're not investing in anything along those lines. We've tried it before.
yeah.
Neither one of us have that particular type of personality. It
Yes,
ain't
yes,
gonna work. It sounds great, but it ain't gonna work.
yeah,
40
yeah. Well,
years
just
later, here I am again.
that's right. Well, let me just say right now, bro, I use Malaluka products right now. I have a whole kitchen full of them. And I'm going to tell you right now, Malaluka is one of the best network marketing companies in the industry. Has a
Well, I
92,
I I was impressed with their actual products.
yeah,
They were expensive at that particular time,
yeah,
but
they're
I
a lot
I had
less
no
now.
problem with their products.
Yeah, and their comp plan actually is one of the best in the business. They have a 92% retention rate. I know a lot of friends that are making 10, 50, 20, $100,000 a month in Melaleuca. Melaleuca is one of the best network marketing businesses out there. However, a lot of the people don't know how to market it. That's where the problem comes.
Yeah.
They're not skilled. But that's neither here nor there. The only reason why I'm saying that, because hopefully you'll trust me, you'll change your beliefs so you can talk to these people and they'll believe in you. That's the only reason I'm
Well,
sharing it with you.
Stephen, one of the biggest problems that I've got when I come across these health and wellness people, I don't even know that they're in network marketing. I've only had one person that was clear cut network marketing. I have absolutely no idea how to market to them, because every single one of them, when I talk to them, is non-committal about how they get their stuff. Oh, it's all word of mouth, and
Right.
I do this or I do that, and none of it has anything to do um, with what I can provide for them. They pretty much make it very clear that, yeah, they. So I
We'll
haven't been
talk
able
about how to
to.
do it. I'll help you. I'll help you with the verbiage for them because I know that industry very, very well. I'll help you with the verbiage. We'll talk
Well,
about that later.
that'd be fantastic, because
Yep, yep.
definitely don't want to take and cross off an entire industry just because I can't figure out how to reach them
Yeah,
as to.
you just haven't learned it. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all it is. And I have learned it, so I know how to talk to them. So I know what they need to hear. Remember,
Okay.
people don't care what you want to say; they care about what they want to hear. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Okay, so I'll help you with that. Let me keep on. Let me keep on with the strategy session. So now,
Okay.
after you talk about who your target audience is, and I talk about people that really want to generate inbound leads. They want either inbound calls, they want people to hit their website, they want more leads, or they want to make more presentations, they want to make more sales. Or, I deal with a lot of people in direct sales, they want to generate a team. They want people that are out there looking for a job, that are looking for a career, looking for a way to make more money. To contact them and say, I want more information. Guess what? Network marketers want to hear that.
Okay.
So then what I do with those people, what I do for them, instead of charging $5,000 or $10,000 like all these other marketing guys do, I do it for a flat rate of $2,000 or $1,000 a month. But I show them how they can generate a lot more sales and grow their teams exponentially. But we can talk about money a little bit later, okay? I want to give you some very specific tips right now. So let me show you what I did. I went through my story. I told them how much it is up front. And now I'm going to give them some free tips and some things they can do to grow their business. You understand? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk about the tips. With the tips, the way you give tips. So this is the mindset of the tips. Think about when I gave you the 7 money making activities. The 7 money making activities, that's my product that I offer. I train on the 7 money making activities. So I gave you tips on the 7 money-making activities. So what you want to think about is, what is it that you're going to be selling these people? You're going to be selling them how to generate leads, how to convert leads, and how to make sales. That's what you're going to be doing, right?
Okay.
Okay. So maybe you want to give them some different lead tips on how to generate more leads. And just so you know, some of the things I've shared with you, you can use word for word what I say. Like when I say, do you even know the difference between a lead and a prospect? I guarantee it, nobody does. Nobody does. So if you tell them, you look like an expert.
Okay.
You understand? So
Yeah.
you can use that. Let me give you the difference between a lead and a prospect, because a lot of people don't even know. Do you know that? Okay, so here's how you can change it for yours. Do you know the difference between traffic? Traffic. What are some of the other words in marketing? Traffic, visitors, leads, and prospects. You can change it to those 3, those 4. Do you know the difference between traffic, visitors, leads, and prospects? A lot of people don't. Well, yeah, well, no. Well, let me tell you what traffic is. Traffic is eyeballs looking at your stuff. It's kind of like having a billboard. If you're gonna go buy advertising, would you buy advertising on a freeway that no one travels? No, why? How come? Because if you buy the billboard, let's say the billboard's $10, would you buy it? No, it makes no sense. There's no traffic. Nobody's coming down the freeway seeing the billboard. You want to get in front of the traffic. If you buy a billboard and you put your phone number on there, you want 1 million cars a day going through it, right? That's called traffic. That's one of the things you want to learn how to do. You want to learn how to drive traffic to your website, traffic to your landing page, because the more eyeballs see it, if you have the right words on there, you'll attract those people to you, and they'll pick up the phone and call you, and they'll want to know more about what you do. So that's one of the things you want to do, is you want to learn how to get traffic. And if we work together, if I accept you as a client, that's one of the things I'm going to do, is teach you how to create traffic to your landing page, to your website, to your phone number, to your alignable page, to your LinkedIn page. So you have more traffic, eyeballs looking at your stuff, you'll get more customers. And that's exactly what I teach you how to do.
Okay.
So
okay.
The next thing is visitors. You know what visitors are? Well, visitors are people that actually land on your website. See, because did you know that there's tracking pixels? Did you know that there's tracking pixels right now? You ever been on a website, you go there, and the next thing you know, you're on Facebook, and all of a sudden those tires show up there. And then you're over on Instagram, and your tires show up there. And everywhere you go, those tires there. Yeah, did you know that there's a thing called that there's tracking pixels that people put on their website that can track you everywhere you go until you buy or die? You know how they talk about that one-on-one? It's the same thing online. See, and what I do is I help you with that. I help you put together a system to where when someone comes and they visit your website, we can follow them until they think you're an authority. And then once they think you're an authority, they pick up and they buy. It's not like one-on-one. It's actually done online. So you know your vitamins you say that you can help people with? They need to know about that. But you just can't say, hey, come buy my vitamins. You have to put some of their benefits. And what I do is I teach you the right words to say, how to say those words to get people to say, wow, I need to call that person. I've seen that thing 15 times. I need to call. The next thing you know, you're the one in front of them. Does that make sense? Yeah, and that's what traffic is. And I teach you how to get visitors to start contacting you. Leads, guess what leads are? Leads are, let me give you the definition of leads. Write this down. A lead is simply name and contact information. And that can be an inbound lead. They can pick up the phone and call you. That's a lead. Or they might email you. That's a lead. Or they go to your website. They fill out a form. That's a lead. Or they go to your LinkedIn and they say, I want to talk to you. That's a lead. See, and what I do is I show you multiple ways to get leads. I give you multiple strategies on how to do that. So if I accept you as a client today and you want to work with me, I'm going to put together a system to help you get multiple ways of getting leads from the traffic and the visitors that come to your landing pages. And I'm gonna help you set that whole system up so you look different. See, there's a lot of people in Melaleuca, but how many of them have a system that gets inbound people contacting you wanting to find out more about your services? Yeah, see, that's what I do. And then guess what? You convert those people into the next step, which are what's called prospects. Prospects, write down the definition of a prospect. It's a person you've spoken to or communicated with that's open to learning more about what you do. And that's the goal. You can't even help them decide to use your products or services until you can speak to them, until you communicate with them, until they know what you do. Now that you've got them as a lead, you've converted them to a prospect based on the words you say. And I'm going to teach you the right words to say, because my mentor taught me the words to say, And that's how I'm doing with my business. I'm going to teach you the exact same thing. And then you're going to be able to make effective presentations to get those people to say, you know what, this business makes sense. I'm in. I just lost my job. I need to make $2,000 a month. I'm in. I want to do business with you. See, and that's the system I help you put in place. So if we work together, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be teaching you those. And that's just the first acronym. The first acronym is A, acquire. See, I'm going to teach you how to acquire traffic, visitors, leads, and prospects. The next one is S. You know what the S stands for? Sales. Bottom line is, you know, I know one thing, if you don't make sales, you're not going to make money in your business. So you got to know how to make sales. And the way you make sales in this business is you got to have enough traffic, enough leads, enough inbound calls coming into your website, to your landing page, to your marketing. And what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what's the best marketing for you, because everybody's different. And you can't focus on everything. If you have a billboard on 50 different freeways and 48 of them are not good, that's not good. You'd be better off to have 2 on high traffic routes, right? Same thing here with marketing. So what I'm going to do is you and I are going to get together. If we work together, if I accept you as a client, we're going to get together. We're going to come up with what's the best strategy for you. It might be just LinkedIn and Alignable. It might be Meetup and your own website. We don't know yet, but that's why we work together, because on our first call, that's the first thing we do. We have to decide what's the best strategy for you. And once we do that, then we can decide where we're going to drive the traffic and the eyeballs. That will be sales. And then what happens is once those people are coming to you, now you can present your offer to them. And then those people can either become a customer, which they should, or they become a person in your team so that you can grow your business exponentially. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to teach you? I'm going to teach you not have to be dependent on word of mouth advertising. Because you know what? When you're in word of mouth, guess what you're on? The roller coaster of success. You're waiting for people to give you a referral. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to get business deliberately and get referrals by accident. That's what I'm going to teach you how to do. So if we work together, that's the system. That's the S. So it's A, and then you got the S and the K. You know what the key is? The K is I don't know. What is K? What's a good word? What's a good word that rhymes with that K? Cash. I know cash is spelled with a C, but you know what we're going to spell with a K for you? Cash, because you want cash, right? And cash, of course, is not green cash. It can mean credit. It can mean money in the bank. It can be cryptocurrency, however you like to spend your money, because nowadays things are changing. But I'm going to call it cash with a K, because that's one of the things you got to do. You got to learn how to ask for the money. And there's multiple ways to ask. And so that's how you get the cash. You got to know how to ask for it. And the way you ask for it, first of all, you got to have enough traffic. You got to have enough visitors. You got to have enough leads and prospects. Converting. Once those people convert, and then those people become people you can make effective presentations to. And then guess what you get to do? You get to ask for the money, or you get to ask for them to join your business. And if we work together, that's one of the things I want to teach you is and put some systems in place. So by the time it's done, they'll be begging you to join your business with you. And that's how you get into the cash. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, you know, if it's something, so that's kind of the process I go through. And that takes about 20 minutes, by the way. So I just gave you some tips. I just invented that on the fly, if you notice that.
Yeah, I was kind of going. I think on this last part, he's just kind of pulling this out of the air.
I am pulling it out of the air. I just invented it on the fly. I came up with an acronym, the ASK process, right? And I just made money out of that system. And then what I do is after I'm done with those tips, see, these are things you need to go do with or without me. It's just going to be a lot less expensive if you do it with me. So you see, the tips I gave are tips that you're going to help them with. Now they can go do these tips without you. They can go build a landing page. They can get traffic. They can do all these things, right? It's just a lot more expensive for them to go try to figure out how to do it than it would be to say, well, yeah, I'd like to work with you. Much easier.
Yeah. That's the part of show the difficulty and then give them the solution, the persuasion part that I've never known how to take and do.
Right. So that's what we're breaking down right here. That's what we're breaking down. So now that we've got that down, You say, now, if it's something that you want to do, something that you want to, now this is going into the close. This is step 5. This is the close. It's very simple. If you do this part properly, if you do everything else I just said, by the time you get to the close, you say, well, it's really simple the way I work. If it's something that you want to do, and I accept you as a client, then the first thing is you just say, yes, I want to do it. I do have 2 last questions to ask you at the end, just before I accept you as a client. But if you do want to do it, we just go ahead, we make the first payment, the $1,000 right up front, so that we don't talk about money while we're starting to go through it. Then what we do is, now you're going to do what's called a benefit stack. Benefit stack. What that means is you're going to tell them all the things they're going to get for their money. Okay? So the first thing is, we're going to go through, on our first call, we're going to do a discovery call to find out, what means of traffic you have, what you have in place, what you want to offer, what your product line is, so we can know who your target audience is. We got to figure that out first. That's step 1. And then after that, once we decide that, then we got to decide, are we going to drive them to your landing page? We're going to drive them to your LinkedIn. We're going to have them pick up the phone and call you. What's going to be the method of that you're going to get all this traffic and all these eyeballs calling you, these people calling you, to generate those leads? So that's step 2. We got to figure out the method of how they're going to communicate with you. And then step 3, we're going to decide on the budget of, marketing, because, to generate leads, you have to invest in your business to generate those leads. So we got to figure out what that budget is or what you want to invest. And it could be as little as this, or it could be as much as that. Everyone's different, and you want to scale. So if in the way marketing, you want to look at it like this: you put $1 in, you get $1.10 back, or you put $1 in, you get $1.50 back. If every time you gave me $1, I gave you $1.50, how many dollars would you give me?
I'm just listening to your words. I wasn't actually doing the math on it.
If I gave you $1, and if you gave me $1 and I gave you $1.50 back, how many dollars would you give me?
$1.
Huh?
$1.
No, you'd give me as many as possible is the correct answer. If you gave me $1, if I gave you you give me $1, I
Okay.
gave you $1.50 back, you're going to give me as many dollars as you can possibly get your hand on.
Yeah,
You
because
understand?
you've given me a 50% profit off of
That's
each
what
one. Yeah.
marketing is. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
That's what marketing is. So that's what we're going to get to. And it starts off maybe $1.10. Maybe it's dollar for dollar starts off. Sometimes it's dollar for 80 cents. But until you tweak it, you have to figure out what works. Then you go dollar for dollar. Then it goes $1.10, $1.20, $1.50, $2. That's how marketing works. But you see the expectation I just gave up front?
Right.
That they might be losing money up front. But you know what? That's how marketing works. But we have to tweak it, and it's a period of time. It takes time. So we don't start this unless you're serious about generating business and you want to grow this long term. That's what the top producers do. The top producers have systems in place where they got an inbound flux of people that want to work with them. And so I help create that and craft that presentation. And then once we figure that out, then we start implementing it. Implementation. Now, this whole first process takes about, I'm just saying, 2 weeks. I don't know how long it takes. I'm just making up time. It takes
Right.
3 sessions or 4 sessions or 2 days or whatever your time frame is. Okay.
Gotcha.
Then once we go through that, then we start implementing. Then after implementing, write down this word, very important when it comes to marketing: testing, testing, testing. Because you got to test, right? It's called A/B testing. We have to test what ad works versus the other ones, because remember, words matter. So we don't know what words work. But once we figure out what words work by tracking, then we can see which words are working, which ones aren't working. In other words, which highway is getting the traffic and which highway is not getting the traffic. We're going to pull the ads off this one. We're going to put them over here so we can get the max amount of traffic, so we can eventually get you to that $1 for every $2 you get back. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. That does.
Yeah. So that's kind of how the process works. So I just want to get your thoughts on what's your thoughts about wanting to work with me on something like this. Because if it is something that you want to do, I do have to ask you a couple questions first before we get started, before I accept you as a client.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay, great. So first question is, what's your why? Why do you want to do this? What's the reason why you want to grow this business?
Oh, my grandfather left it to me. It's been in the family for over 100 years, but in the last 20 years or so, it started to slack off a little bit because my idiot brothers got involved and, you know,
Mhm.
wanted to spend money instead of reinvesting it. And I don't want to lose the family business. You know, I'm really want to have something to pass along to the kids, you know?
That makes sense, and I can understand that because that's a rare thing nowadays. A lot of people are jumping from thing to thing, but it's awesome that you want to keep it in the family and you want to pass it down. That's awesome. That's a great why. I respect that 100%. The second question is even more important than the first. How coachable are you? Because I'd rather run into Los Angeles traffic being chased by a pit bull than to coach someone who's uncoachable. Because as you're learning this, you're gonna have to learn a whole new strategy. You're gonna have to learn your thinking's gonna have to change a little bit. So how coachable are you as far as implementing some of the things I'm gonna teach you?
I'm pretty good.
Okay. You see what I just did? I now have you selling me on why I should accept you as a client.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that technique as well. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's very useful. Uh, I haven't heard it enough times to be able to actually implement it, but
Yeah. Well,
very,
that's
very useful.
yeah. So basically, but it's true though. It's not really a technique. It's actually true. That's who I am. I really am serious about working with the people I really enjoy working with. I had a guy last week. I had a guy last week. We hopped on a strategy session. Now I'm giving this guy the strategy session. Now his name was Dr. Such and Such. I don't even know who he was, but I invited him to a strategy session. He said, yes, I'll come. He came to Dr. He walked on like this, his arms crossed. And I said, hey, how's it going? He goes, let's just go ahead and just get to it. And I said, okay, let's get to it. No problem. I said, so tell me a little bit about your business. He goes, you haven't looked at my website yet? If you haven't looked at my website, how are you going to help me if this and this? And I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. I haven't looked at your website. So you know what? I don't think this is going to be a good fit for you. I don't think I'm the right person to help you. I think you got your stuff going on and your attitude right now, it's not the person I like to work with. So I think I appreciate your time. You have a fantastic rest of your day. And I let him go. I have zero tolerance for that. I'm
Yeah,
giving him a free strategy session. I don't need his business. He needs what I have.
I've told people, I've told people to, yeah, we're not going to work together. I'm sorry. No, 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 no.
Yeah. But you understand the point?
Yeah.
The whole point of this is by the time if you do this right, you do the audio business card, the opener, inviting script. They've come to a strategy session because they want to learn. They're open to learning. If you do this strategy session properly and you give them some real meat, you're not just trying to sell them your services. Give them real meat. Here's the mindset. As you're giving the tips, write this down or remember this. You want to teach them the what they have to do and the why they have to do it. You're teaching them the what and the why, the how they have to buy.
Okay. Okay.
So you're giving them the what they need to do, the why they need to do it. But if they want to learn how, when we work together, I'm going to show you how to put this together. I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to put this together with you. I'm going to help you do it to help you develop it. You need to learn what to learn. You need to learn what generate leads. And I'm going to show you multiple different strategies on how to generate leads. You need to get those leads to turn into traffic, to visitors into your website. And you need to learn why you need to learn. Here's why. Here's the traffic. You give analogies and stories and all these things. And then how to do it. When we work together, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do this together. You understand?
Right.
You teach them the what and why. The how is when we work together.
Okay.
And you all throughout that presentation, I'm consistently saying, if I accept you as a client, if you want to work with me, if we decide to work together today, if I accept you as a client, if we want to work together today, you see, I'm multiply planting that seed that you ain't getting to work with me just because you have money.
Yeah, there's I forget the name, I forget the label for that particular technique. Yeah,
I,
it is
I, I
very
don't
effective.
I don't really know the labels because I don't read books on techniques. This is just how I live. I've just grown up with this for a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't really know any names of any techniques. This is just
Okay.
what I do. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well,
So
it's
I didn't
what
read this in like spin selling or anything like that.
no, this is standard standard sales 101 as far as some of the stuff that you're showing me. Um
Well, it may
and,
be
and
sales, but I guarantee you it ain't 101.
well, it's what it's creating, and I can't remember. I've got an absolute garbage memory, but it's not creating desperation, but it's creating a need. There's a particular
Scarcity,
thing. Yeah, it's urgency. Thank you. Creating
urgency.
urgency, you know,
Got it.
and then you're also you're setting yourself up as the authority by um,
Yeah, yeah. But you gotta
showing
remember,
them that
I learned from a guy who did $5 billion in business. Plus, I've been doing it 36 years.
yeah.
So I've learned from a lot of people, and just I've been around a lot of very, very successful people, and I just kind of piecemealed all the things that I watched and put it into a simple, duplicatable system.
Well, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna take and I'll rewatch this recording a couple times,
Yep.
and because I honestly I can't take all of the notes
No, of
accurately
course not. No, that's why
as
I
you're
record it.
talking. I take and go back and forth and back and forth. So I'll do that. Make a lot of notes. I will probably implement some of this stuff because I know I'm not going to be able to retain all of this for the next strategy session that I do, but I think I'll be able to retain enough of the key components to make my strategy session a little bit more helpful. Um, and then the next time we get together, what I'd like to be able to do is I'll have some time to be able to absorb this and talk to you about how to more curtail and refine this for digital marketing and for me, especially as far as the relatables with the storytelling and everything else. Because uh, yeah, as far as my story, I don't really have one that is
Right.
relatable to my
So this is what
chosen
I would
industry.
do. I would go through, listen to the training, and then take as much of it as you can, and just do as much of you can. Try to create a strategy session, and then I would like to see you role play with me, so I can kind of help you critique it. And
Yeah, that's
it'll be
fine.
better. Yeah, that I think
That's
that'll be the better way to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. However we want to take and attack it. Um, but I'm just that's kind of what I've got going through my mind is I'll go over this over the course of this next week, and I haven't even booked any Smart Connects for this week yet. So I've got to actually get on the ball tonight and see what's there. I'm not going to do any of the themed ones. Got on one the other day where it's yeah, this guy that was the host, he's wanting to play music in between, and then he wants to take and talk, and I sat there and timed it after going through it for an hour. 20 minutes was being taken up by this host shenanigans and pitching
Right.
alignable pro services and where you can sign up for it. It's like, yeah, yeah, I'm not going to do these themed ones anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Just gonna.
I don't do any of those myself.
All right, Stephen.
Especially,
I know we're well
Alignable is
beyond our
one.
time. I
Let me
do
tell you,
appreciate
Alignable is
your
one
extra
network.
effort.
Alignable is one networking group. If you go to meetstephengreg.com and you click on step number 5, I actually
Mhm.
have a list of about 40 different networking groups you can download.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, then you
I'll
can
do that.
see if there's any of those and I'll be updating this list. I have some new ones I just got. So, just look on there and see if any of those could apply to you as well. Because there's other
Well,
networking groups you can go to.
let me pull it up right now to make sure, because right, and it automatically goes to calendar.
Yeah, which is click step number 5.
Free networking lists,
Yep,
email.
yep.
It's all about
See, it's a
everybody's all
lead
about
capture. It's a lead capture system
capturing
too.
fucking information. You know what I do 90% of the time? Click off. I don't bother.
Yeah, that's what you do 90% of the time. Most people fill it out when they want what's on there. I'm gonna help you, bro. I'm gonna help you get out of your mindset thinking that everybody does what you do.
Well, there's a lot of people that do, but I get what you're saying. Just out of curiosity, you were 714. Where are you located in
I
Southern
live in
California?
Jacksonville, Florida, but I lived in California for 40 years. So my phone
Oh,
number, I haven't changed it. No reason to.
okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
my daughter still clings to hers you know, because we were, I was born and raised in Southern California, born in San Bernardino, lived in the Inland Empire most of my adult life, bought a home up in the high desert, lived in Hesperia, Victorville, Phelan, then
Hmm.
moved out here to North Carolina.
Yep. Yep. No, I've been.
My father still lives in California.
Oh,
He's
really?
down in Laguna Niguel,
Yeah, I live right around the corner. My daughter's in Laguna Niguel right now.
and my fiance's daughter lives in Jacksonville, Florida, right now with her husband. She loves it there.
Yeah, I
I don't know
like
how
it. I
you can
like it out
handle
here a
the
lot.
humidity. Oh my God, it's oppressive during the summer.
It's not that bad. It's not as bad as people say it is. It's nowhere near. You got to remember, I came from California. It's hot as heck in California all the time. So it's nowhere near as bad as it appears. Not even close. Not even close.
Bye, man. You enjoy the rest of your night. I'll set up another one. I think with your calendar, most of your times are not within the time period that I've got. So I think what I'll do this
Or
Sunday evening.
you can always call me too and just say, hey, can we set up a time? And if I'm available, I'll make myself available for you.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe the Sunday evening schedule works out pretty good because I'm guaranteed I'm going to be home on Sunday evening.
Okay, that
'Cause
works.
I'm with Jennifer sometimes Friday night and Saturday night, and I always end up coming home around about 3 or 4 o'clock, so I
Okay.
can get my stuff squared away. So yeah, I'll go ahead and set something up for next week, and we'll see where I get from there.
All right, let's do it.
All right, thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
No problem. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.